Okay, thank you. I was just going to talk a little bit today, not only about thermography, but the new laws that are being passed about dense breast tissue. I was going to ask how many people here were dense, but I gave you food. I didn't want you to start throwing it at me, so said I'm going to actually read from the dense breast website of a few experiences of women and why this law got put into place. I'm going to first talk about Mindy's story. Mindy's story, I had 11 years of mammograms, never heard of dense breast or the impact of having dense breast until I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a clear mammogram at the end of June and felt a lump a month later. After a visit to my doctor, an ultrasound and an MRI, 3 cancerous tumors were found. The pathology revealed cancer had spread to the lymph nodes. Not good. This is when I learned that my dense breast impacted the effectiveness of the mammogram as a screening tool. The tumors were missed for several years. I had a bilateral mastectomy and am undergoing chemo radiation as a part of my treatment. If I had known about dense breasts, I would have requested ultrasounds and MRIs. I applaud all Are You Dense for its work to influence legislation to require women to be told about their density and options for additional screening. Mindy's dense breast tissue and its impact on the accuracy of her mammogram were never discussed with her. So I'm going to tell you Dr. Coppola's tragic story that led to this law being put into place. In fact, Washington, we're just waiting to hear back. It's been presented, and it will hopefully Washington and Arizona. Oregon just got mandated, so they're very excited. In fact, they sent me all the brochures from their hospitals just to get the word out. Dr. Capella and her tragic story got this started. She starts by saying, exposing the best kept secret. On February 3rd, 2004, she was diagnosed with advanced stage cancer within weeks of a normal mammogram. It was at this time that she learned that she even had dense breast and certainly wasn't aware of its significance. As in mammograms, dense breasts appear white, cancer is white, like finding a polar bear in a snowstorm. Mammogram reports, written by a radiologist to the referring physician, has detailed and vital information about a woman's breast, but that report is typically never shared with the patient. Something wrong with that picture. Just 7 weeks prior to her late-stage diagnosis, she had her 11th year mammogram, and it was normal. At a subsequent annual exam, her doctor felt a ridge. She ordered a mammogram. The mammogram revealed nothing. Same day, the ultrasound detected a quarter-sized lesion. The pathology revealed advanced stage breast cancer metastasizing into 13 lymph nodes. This is all kinds of bad. You might wonder what happened to early detection. Because cancer was detected at such an advanced stage, she had to endure aggressive treatment consisting of chemotherapy, radiation, numerous surgeries, and hormone therapy. Early detection could have avoided some, if not all of this. Since her diagnosis, she is compelled to tell the best kept secret of the significance about dense breast tissue and the higher risk of having cancer missed on a mammogram, as women with dense breast tissue have a 30% higher risk of breast cancer. Yes, 30%. We might ask why. One potential link stems from the larger number of stroma cells, a kind of connective tissue in dense breasts. Research found that the relationship between the stroma cells and an enzyme that increase estrogen in the dense breast. And this could be contributing to the higher risk of cancer. What do we do once we find out if we have dense breasts? This law, right now in 14 states, now require that your density is disclosed to you. But many experts do not promote follow-up testing. This is where we need to become proactive and take this information to our healthcare providers and formulate a plan of action for our breast health. We talked a little bit about mammography. It has some risks and limitations. 22 pounds of pressure is significant to rupture an encapsulated tumor. Mammography uses 42 pounds of pressure, potentially causing cancer cells to be released into the bloodstream and to the lymphatic system. It's kind of scary. The iodizing radiation of a mammogram can increase the development of breast cancer, especially if begun before 40. And you have to remember it's also an accumulative radiation. It doesn't go away, it just keeps building. And the women that are most vulnerable to breast cancer are those with the BRCA gene. And if you double that by giving them a mammogram, just things to think about. So where does thermography fit in? Thermography measures subtle changes in temperature on the surface of the body using an infrared camera. As the tumor grows, it develops a bigger and larger and hotter blood supply. Cancer is interesting. It starts with just a few rebel cells. As it starts to grow, it sends out chemical messengers to the surrounding blood supply. This is called angiogenesis, which is on the screen here. It starts small, then it sends out the messengers, and the blood supply starts to feed it, and it starts to grow and grow and grow. Thermography measures vascular changes, unlike mammograms that detect lumps and bumps. So we're catching it more at a vascular level than when it's actually become a bump or a lump. Often these physiological changes precede the anatomical changes. Thermography may detect abnormalities in breast tissue up to 10 years before a mass is detected by mammography. Thermograms are particularly helpful, I like this part, for women with dense breasts and for women under the age of 50. Not a bad idea since women are getting younger and younger and getting cancer. Thermography was FDA cleared as an adjunctive screening for breast cancer in 1982. Recent advancements in technology have allowed us to perform even more accurate exams. It lists its limitations and risks. Since thermography does not use radiation or compression, there is no risk. Thermography is a thermal representation of the skin. It is unable to pinpoint precisely at what depth a cancerous tumor may be, but it's so close that that's almost not a factor anymore. If a cancerous tumor exists that is not exhibiting heat or an increased blood supply, thermography may not detect it. With my camera, we not only have what we call is a rainbow scale, but we also have these grayscale. What it does is shows your vascular patterns. Your vascular patterns are just like your fingerprint. It's individual to you. So as we monitor you year after year, and vascular patterns or your blood vessels start to go a different direction, it's not you anymore, it's starting to do something, big red flag, so we can catch it up to 10 years before a mammogram. And thermography is not so great at detecting microcalcifications as mammograms, but in dense breast tissue, they wouldn't be able to find it either. So it depends on what kind of breast tissue you have, even if mammogram could find a calcification. So thermography may signal a problem in the breast, that cannot be detected by using other testing. It is a good early warning screening tool to give women an opportunity to intervene with proactive measures to prevent future disease. We have plenty of time to work with our diet, exercise, and our nutrition, and maybe shrink whatever started before it ever comes to a lump or a bump and becomes dangerous. Dr. Capello is the director and founder of RUDense.com. Her mission is to educate women about dense breasts and its significance for prevention of late-stage breast cancer. Her message conveys, with inspiration and humor, speaks of her journey from patient to advocate and inspires others to use their challenges and life lessons to make a positive impact in the lives of others. And she certainly has. This law is going to probably save thousands and thousands of lives. Dr. Capello's tragedy resulted in Connecticut's landmark legislation and the national grassroots density reporting efforts, which has been featured on ABC, NBC, and the New York Times. Empowering women to make better choices in their breast health, encouraging us to find our voice and speak up for ourselves. In her words, to withhold a woman's breast density composition from her is denying her right to make an informed decision about her breast health. I have another story. I have Stephanie's story. I mindlessly reached over to pull the bra strap that keeps falling off my shoulder. Why, oh why did I wear this bra? I will have to adjust that when I take this thing off. Each time I pull up the strap on my left side, I reach inside my jacket and my fingertips brush across my left breast. As I am moving my hand out, I feel it. A hard spot. Not soft. It's on the top of my breast. That's odd. Then I feel around it. It's big. It's really big. Like the size of an egg. Wait, they tell us to look for pebbles or a pea? And it's maybe a cyst. It'll go away. And wait, I just had a mammogram 2 months ago. Now I'm one of the good girls. I go in for my mammogram every year. Ever since I turned 40, I am now 49. Invasive ductal carcinoma, lobular carcinoma in Sioux. Tumor, 5 centimeters or larger. Yes, the size of an egg. 16 weeks chemotherapy, 8 weeks of radiation, 3 surgeries. Why, oh why didn't I listen to my sister, a thermography technician? The lasting effects of chemoradiation are far too many to list. Severe neuropathy of hands and feet, joint pain, stiffness, chemo brain, permanent damage to my heart and lungs. If CPR is ever performed or an airbag ever deploys in my car, all my ribs on my left side will be shattered. Could early detection have saved me from the late-stage diagnosis? This is Stephanie's story. Stephanie, my little sister, and she is here today. Dr. Rivers and Stephanie and I will be glad to answer any further questions for you at the back of the. Thank you. Oh, I have lots of handouts. If no one's ever gotten them yet, what we're finding is 50% of us will find our own cancer. We want to start educating and being a lot more thorough in our breast exams, our self-breast exams. So we want to give you one of these, go home, Xerox it off 12 times. There's also charts for your shower to remind you to do your breast exam and a little bit more detailed information. But it's good to take notes because we forget. And every month we should be able to do our breast exam. And if we have dense breasts, it all feels like a ropey tissue. You don't remember. I mean, is that normal? Is that? Write it down. Write it down. Don't forget to do your exams. There's brochures on the new law that's being passed for dense breast. Here's your little shower holder. I do have some guidelines that you may want to, use at your, well, all my contact information, but on the back, different books, different research you can do on your own, because I really encourage you not to just listen to me, but to do your own research and find out what works best for you, because we have to tailor what feels good to us and what we believe in to feel good about the whole thing. Now those that I belong to, the United Breast Cancer Foundation. This is an organization that helps fund those that don't have the funds to get the thermography, mammogram, or whatever you choose to do. They will help fund that. Just have to fill out their paperwork and send it in, and if you want thermography and don't have the funds, they will help you do that. Thermography is not covered. No. 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 And if you sign up today, if it's helpful, we're doing a $50 discount for anyone that wants to sign up for thermography and get started with no radiation and no compression.
And they're fun.
See, they're fun. They're not invasive. It doesn't hurt. It takes only about 10-15 minutes, and your report comes to you. We have a team of doctors that read your report. I'm just the picture taker, and you get your report back in 5 to 7 days. Yeah, and the other point that is brought out, 45% of all cancers are in this quadrant. And so we get a little bit eager and really do a good job of that area, but we're forgetting the nipple and right below. 25% of cancers are there too, so we just don't forget. I know most of it's here, but don't forget the whole breast. My sister's was way up here. Who would have thought that a tumor that large would be up here? So it's from your collarbone down. Don't forget the upper part too.